Hey y'all. So I just finished watching the first 4 episodes of Bridgerton on Netflix. Basically, if you are into Jane Austen, the Bronte sisters, but with black people and sex, this show is for you. So far, the show is centered around like these 3 families, the Bridgertons, although I'm not sure if it's Bridgerton or Bridgerton, because I think they said it both ways throughout the show, the Feathertons, and then the Duke of Hastings and his whole thing. It's typical. Women have to go getting married off. There's the coming out debutante thing being presented to the queen. If you saw Downton Abbey, you saw that happen. And this guy and this girl, they don't like each other, and they're like, oh, we're gonna pretend to like each other. And of course, obviously, they start to like each other. I mean, that was like obvious. So, oh yeah, spoilers. But I really did enjoy. I love the chemistry. Oh, the costuming. So at first, while I'm watching it though, because I did hear about the controversy of a black woman being cast as Queen Charlotte, and controversy, whatever. Because people are like, well, historically she may have had some African ancestry or whatever, and people are like, blah blah blah. It's so far down her lineage. How would you know? But anyway, so I'm watching it, and like race isn't brought up at all at first. So I just thought maybe this is just colorblind casting. People are just being assholes because that's what they are. Assholes are assholes. But we finally get to the 4th episode, which is the last episode I just watched. The subject of race and uh, the opportunity to move above your station because the king fell in love with one of their own. The Duke of Hastings is black, and then Lady of Danbury, she's also black, the woman that basically raised him. And so I kind of appreciate the first 2 episodes. I'm just like just going along with it, and there's people who are friends. There are 2 main families, the Feathertons and the Bridgertons. They're like 2 families that are friends, but like the mom and the other family is kind of like, oh my god, my daughters are. It's so weird that the Featherton family, how their kids are like not the pretty family, because they kind of for me resemble like the way they dress the stepsisters and Cinderella, the Brandy Cinderella version. Yes, they very much reminded me of them, their costuming. But everything else, it was like really fun. It was kind of like Gossip Girl, but the 1800s, because there's this woman who's writing this pamphlet telling everybody's business, and like the younger sister of the main chick, Daphne, the little sister Eloise, she's trying to figure out who the good chick is who's writing all the pamphlets. So my thing is, I think Lady Whistledown is probably a man, and because who else would have the time to sit around writing gossip pamphlets about people? And then there's like people being secretly pregnant, people trying to marry people off really fast. It's a good time. It's a good time. So it's only 8 episodes, so we're gonna do the other 4 probably tomorrow. And let me know if you watched any at all. Let me know below and talk about it. Hey y'all. So I just finished episodes 4 through 8 of Bridgerton, and whew, the show was predictable, can be cheesy and overly sentimental, but I love it. Like, this show was definitely completely meant for me to be watching. All right, so spoilers ahead. So we start back off with Daphne and Simon married, and of course they're just banging. They are having sex all over the place. Like, I feel like their sex montage lasted like 10 minutes straight. And what I did appreciate about that, was a lot of him going down on her. I was like, yes, be about your wife's pleasure. I loved it. Then, of course, she then figures out about, Simon lying about his inability to have kids, but he was also like, you dummy, why didn't you know that, semen is what needs to happen for you to have kids? So, I mean, it's like, talk to your kids. Let them know about sex. I understand this was the 1800s, but even like now, people still don't really explain what sex is to your children. And then, Anthony has thing going on. He found the singer John again, and then they broke up, and I was like, oh, but he should have known that. Yes, I understand your sister's a duchess now, and your best bro is the duke, but what's her name? Serena, she was the Sierra, or something that kind of name. She was the only one that had any sense, and she was just like, dude, This is who I am. Back off. And then all the poor Featheringtons, they were just going through it. I just feel like those three sisters, they just had them dressed up like Anastasia and Drizella. No matter the incarnation of Cinderella, that's what they looked like. I was like, if you wanted to draw what the stepsisters looked like, not saying that they were evil or anything, but if you wanted to draw what they looked like clothing wise, that's what it was. And I was just like, but yes, Queen Charlotte in her wigs. They were on point, as always. They were just like, I am the queen. Oh, you'll follow me around, hold my dogs. And I loved it. I loved every bit of it. And big spoiler, I knew who Lady Whistledown was. I knew it was Penelope. Like, it could have been anybody else, because it's like, she would be at these things, and she was very much like, whenever Eloise would bring it up, she would kind of like, blah, 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 no, let's not talk about it, murmur. She would always find some reason, like, get around it. But yes, I knew. And Eloise deserves a spinoff. I'm going to eventually read these books, and I hope Eloise has her own chapters, her own story, her own whatever, because Eloise, I mean, it's just the actor. I don't know if the character's that great in the books, but in the show, Eloise is awesome. So, if you watch the show, let me know your thoughts and everything. And I just remember this was episode 4 through 8, and if you look at my previous video of episodes 1 through 4,